So something that's often discussed sort of alongside AI and that I've discussed before on this podcast is the AI and human coexistence. So do you think that the current and future levels of AI driven automation can coexist with human employment, or do you think it will lead to quite significant disruption of jobs?
So there's a lot of this is a very active topic right
Mhm.
now, and I'm pretty active in following on it. And I always like I'm switching between the arguments. Like it's like almost every other week the other arguments overwhelm. The last argument I heard was an example where the example was think about 100 years ago when horses got replaced by cars. So that there's this famous picture from New York City, and I think in 1903 you would have one car, and the rest was horses on the street. And 10 years later, there was one horse, and the rest was cars, right? And but the issue is so it, when you take this example, the horse has no job afterwards because the car took his job. So a human could find another job, right? Because the human is intelligent enough to find to do something else. But the issue this time is that this time we are the horse. So because this time we don't produce another technology where in the past people said this will take our jobs, and then it people could find new jobs and new branches developed, industries developed. But I think this time it's a little different because this time we actually produce a machine that is intelligent. So it can do. I think over the long term it'll be able to do almost any job and way better than humans. But this very much depends on how far do we get in artificially recreating any aspect of intelligence. For example, like inspiration. It's I to, today I tried to create content for what happens if Nvidia becomes uh, a competitor. Maybe Nvidia needs to now, because of its size, start to enter the markets where Microsoft Azure and AWS is and so on. So I try to create content, and I asked the AI, what do you think could be potential effects of this? Like what could be what could come out of this in the future? And it just can't do it. So um, this is because we have not yet synthetically recreated this part of intelligence, which is inspiration, right? I'm not sure if we will be able to do that in the future to create like any aspect of intelligence artificially. But if not, I think this is where work will shift towards. So I always had this advanced idea of a person having an idea, and the AI is like an assistive layer around the brain, and it transforms the idea into a business. It creates a product, it does the marketing, it distributes. And if somebody else thinks is in a situation where they think I would need something like this, they just get it
Mhm.
without even ordering something or anything. Yeah. This is something more advanced, but so I would say the future of work might be very much in the creative, inspirational part, and every manual kind of work, it's probably going to be automated.
Which is, that's the dream. That sounds like a good thing, right? I guess kind of leads me on to the next question of how would you advise people, so individuals and organizations as well, how they should make sure that they are then taken along with that wave of benefits that AI will bring and not get left behind.
Mhm. Well, I never really understood when people, for example, people saying you will still need a So let's just take Canva as an example. With Canva, you can design images. Every image that is getting designed in Canva by somebody who's who's who would not have the possibility without Canva is taking a job from somebody who would have done it if there would not be any Canva, right? So I would suggest look, my company has something like 1.1 to 1.5 employees, me and somebody else, right? And I think what I created is used to take 20 to 50 people in the past. So if you think about, if you have a company with hundreds or thousands of employees, I would seriously, the hardest thing is to change culture. So culture takes the longest because people like to work in their old way. They come to work, they do what they like, and what they know and can, and where they have their abilities. Changing this will take the longest, and there is no time. So I would strongly suggest, especially if you have a company with a higher headcount, to start changing culture, to work with efficient tools, to look out for the employees that like to use the most efficient tools. There was, I guess, the pressure wasn't as strong in the past, not using the latest tech, but the more potent technology becomes, the more the pressure is on. I mean, if your competitor has a 5-person team accomplishing the same what you do with 1,000 people, then who's gonna have the most money doing advertising on Google and Meta and so on? They'll just crush.
Yeah. So get on the bandwagon, basically.
Get inspiration, get motivate your employees to use new technology. Nobody really likes to do micromanagement. Try to automate micromanagement. Try to get your people to think, do I need to do this click? That's how we create our one-click solutions, is focus on every click, on every task, whatever it is. Can we automate it? If yes, automate it and focus then on, I give you an example. The difference right now, in the past, I would have needed 20 hours to create a blog article. With AI, with ChatGPT, I need 4. With our tool, I can I can listen to podcasts for 4 hours, learn, get inspiration, and use our tool to create fresh, unique, high quality content. And at the end of the day, I have 10 articles. I have learned a lot, and the other person has 1 article, has learned nothing, and the output is 1 to 10. Yeah.
So speaking about content, then, so I think a lot of people would say that, especially with things like content, there can be a gap sometimes in terms of the quality of what's produced by a human versus what can be produced by an AI. What are some of the ways that business leaders can use AI to streamline their operations in various ways without sacrificing on quality?
Well, it depends on what system you use. As I'm saying, like, if I would try to automate, if I would have a different business with a lot of operations and a lot of employees, I would start looking exactly on the processes and how to automate each one of them. Um, I think so. So I give you an example again from my company. Once you automate a task, it's getting to, I would say, 99.999% of the time it's getting done right. So you don't need to invest your time in working. You start. So all we do all day is we work on quality, because once once you have automated a task, you can work on the next quality step instead of doing the task, right? So really get rid of tasks. Just, I mean, Elon is a good example, saying just look at, is it really needed, and if not, just kick it out, and everything which is left over, just try to automate it. And if you spend your time on automating quality instead of working, quality will rise all the time. I mean, it's obvious because you're working on quality instead of working on work.
So you use that time that's freed up from your efficiency to focus on quality. Okay. Okay. All right. So finally, then, just to wrap us up, can you please share with us one prediction that you have for what artificial intelligence might be able to do for us in 10 years' time?
That's a tough one. I'm conservative about predicting the next 2 months, but I say if it's not getting horribly wrong, where I see the probability to be low as well, by the way, I would say, look, when 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 we've approached each other, we figure out when is a good time to make a podcast. We write, we think, we look into our schedules and everything. I see a very high potential in the future of what. Right now we're working on Neuralink to get signals from the brain out. As soon as we are able to get signals in and like have a technology that is like 10,000 times more precise, we can have an AI that is actually like an assistant that that works with our brain. So, for example, if I would now, I asked you, is the podcast interview going to be live? And you listen, you read the message, and then you respond. I think in the future this will be like my subconscious will my conscious will not be really be triggered because the answer it's gonna be the question is gonna be answered before I even think it because somewhere in my subconscious, the question arises, and AI will take it, put it to your assistive AI, and get the answer back before I even think about it. Or
Mm.
say another way, you were at your friend's place and you left your jacket, and the next time you meet your friend will instantly remember, like intuitively remember, there's the jacket from Laura. Yeah.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks. We'll see. Assistive AI, very good. All right. Well, thank you so much, Stefan, for sharing your insights and expertise with us today. Been very interesting talking about different types of leaderships and different ways of becoming a leader, and also discussing the impact of artificial intelligence on efficiency, and humans and AI working together, and maintaining quality as well. So, thanks very much.
Thank you.
That concludes this episode of the AI Business Leadership Podcast. Keep an eye on our socials for more conversations with leaders in business and AI innovation, and we'll see you next time.